People often think of family tragedies and the premature deaths of loved ones to be limited to the common people back in the medieval age. This, however, could not be further from the truth, as many members of the upper classes died young, and in the case of the royalty, these deaths could have devastating effects on the country they ruled. In this video, I'm going to be covering the White Ship disaster, which robbed England of its heir just 54 years after the initial Norman invasion, and ultimately resulted in a brutal civil war that encompassed not just England, but Normandy and France as well. The White Ship, as it was called, was a newly refitted vessel captained by Thomas Fitzstephen, whose father had actually been the captain of the ship Mora for William the Conqueror during the Norman conquest of England in 1066. Thomas offered his ship to the king at the time, Henry I, to return to England from where they had been staying in Barfleur, Normandy. Henry had already made other arrangements, however, so instead allowed many in his party to take the White Ship back home, including his son and heir, William Adelin, his illegitimate children, Richard of Lincoln and Mary Fitzroy, and many other important nobles of the time. According to chronicler Orderic Vitalis, the crew asked William Adelin for wine, which he supplied to them in great abundance. By the time the ship was ready to leave the harbour, there were about 300 people on board, although some, including the future King Stephen, had disembarked due to excessive drinking before the ship sailed. Soon after this, the captain, Thomas Fitzstephen, was ordered by some of the drunken passengers to overtake the king's ship, which had already set sail. The White Ship was fast, of the best construction, and had recently been fitted with new materials which made the captain and crew confident they could reach England first. Confidence which I'm sure was also influenced by the heavy amount of alcohol they had consumed. Fatefully, however, when the ship bound for England set forth in the dark, its port side struck a submerged rock called Queleboeuf, and the ship quickly capsized. The king's legitimate son and heir, William Adelin, got into a small boat and could have escaped, but turned back to try rescue his half-sister Mary when he heard her cries for help. Upon reaching the capsizing boat, his small boat was quickly swamped by others trying to save themselves, and William tragically drowned along with the rest of them at the young age of just 17. According to Orderic Vitalis, Berold, a butcher from Rouen, was the sole survivor of the shipwreck by clinging to the rock. The chronicler further wrote that when the captain, Thomas Fitzstephen, came to the surface after the sinking and learned that William Adelin had not survived, he let himself drown rather than face the king. The consequences of this disaster would be catastrophic for both England and Normandy, as the period known as the Anarchy would break out as a direct result of William Adelin's death. The White Ship disaster had left Henry with only one legitimate child, a second daughter named Matilda. And although Henry had forced his barons to swear an oath to support Matilda as his heir on several occasions, a woman had never ruled England in her own right. Matilda was also unpopular because she was married to Geoffrey, Count of Anjou, a traditional enemy of England's Norman nobles and future founder of the Plantagenet dynasty. Upon Henry's death in 1135, the English barons were predictably reluctant to accept Matilda as queen regnant. As a result of this, one of Henry's male relatives, the aforementioned Stephen, who was the king's nephew by his sister Adela, and initially meant to be on the White Ship but had disembarked shortly before it set sail, usurped Matilda as well as his two older brothers, William and Theobald, to become king. Following Stephen's usurpation of the throne, Matilda and her husband Geoffrey of Anjou launched a long and devastating war against Stephen and his allies for control of the English throne, a civil war that would become known as the Anarchy, which devastated England, in particular the southern counties, and ended with the ascension of Geoffrey Anjou and Matilda's son, Henry II. Contemporary historian William of Malmesbury later wrote of the disaster that no ship that ever sailed brought England such disaster. Well, I think that's where I'm going to end the video, guys. I did want to take this opportunity to apologise for the sporadic upload schedule lately. I've been quite busy with work and VCE lately, however my classes essentially end in September, so from that point on I'll be able to make more videos as I had last year. Until that point, however, I will try to get at least 1 or 2 videos out every 2 weeks. I do thank you guys though for still watching my videos in spite of this, and a massive thank you to all of you for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. But anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. I hope you guys have a great day, night, wherever you are, and I hope to see you in the next one.